So I thought I'd do a layout of all my equipment that I'm going to be taking on my bike camping, bike packing excursion that's starting tomorrow. I originally wasn't going to do this because I thought it's just too much trouble to unpack and repack, and I've already been shaking the equipment out, and I'm glad I did, because one thing I discovered as I was unpacking the handlebar bag, the camp towel that I had from my bike, from my one night overnight on the C&O Canal, was still damp and was rusting up against the fuel canister, and was kind of nasty. So that's right now. I just washed it, and it's all right. I washed it, scrubbed it out in the kitchen sink, and right now it's hanging out to dry outside. So that's the one item that I have not. That's here right now, because it's already cut to size to fit perfectly in the stove kit once it's all fully packed up. So let's start on the back of the bicycle and show what we have here. Starting with the right rear pannier, we have here our rain jackets, a thermarest air mattress, a pump bag. It's actually almost a 15-liter dry sack. But the problem is with this is if you can use it as a pump bag, you have to take everything out of it to use it as to inflate your air mattress, and then put everything back in again. So I just opted not to use it as a as a storage bag. So it is a dry sack with a hole in the bottom, so you can goes up against the nozzle. We have our Big Agnes Copper Spur UL1 tents, with a copper with the Big Agnes. The Big Agnes footprint that goes right inside that bag, and we have our camp top, our Columbia sportswear. This was treated with permethrin, so it's insect repellent. So that all goes into the right pannier. In the left pannier, we have our hiking socks, our camp socks that we'll wear at the end of the day, also treated with permethrin. An REI Helio Down 45. A sleeping bag. Considering it's the middle of the summer, it's probably still going to be too hot. I'm just going to use that more as a quilt. I'll unzip it and cover myself up when it starts to get colder. This is my luxury item. Adds a significant amount of weight, but I'm only going to be biking about 4 hours a day, so the rest of the time I'm going to be in camp. So that's my hammock, along with the emo straps to hang it on the trees. So this was a gift of my family. So that's the sleeping bag with straps, and there are my Columbia sportswear bottoms, also treated with permethrin, insect repellent. And we also in the trunk bag itself, inside the trunk bag in the center section, it goes a 220-gram fuel canister. Don't know if I'm going to need this much, but because I've got a 100-gram fuel canister in the front pack, but that's just a backup just in case. And then I have my two fully stocked food bags that all go into the main portion of the trunk bag. Now this is the Toe Peak trunk bag. It's not water resistant. Got my tail lights. Now this is the Toe Peak rain cover that goes over the top of all this. So this is the main trunk bag right here. It is expandable, and there's the top flap. We've got the right pannier and the left pannier on that side. So this is the top portion of the trunk bag. The main portion, expandable. So in the top portion of the trunk bag, I'll get out of the shadow of the lights, have my bandana. I'm big on lanyards and carabiners, or snap links, because you don't want to lose small items. So fortunately, I got a small knife, a bug net, old black diamond headlamp. I thought about getting a new one. 350 lumen at REI was $50, but I've got an 800 lumen headlamp on my bicycle, so I just figured, why do I need that? Got a fire starter, bandana, everything's together, with a snap link and a key ring tied in a knot in the corner of the bandana. So all that, so when I go into my trunk bag, now that stuff falls out independently. We have our bare bag line. So there's 50 feet of paracord along with a snap link and a slip ring in there to hang my bag. Titanium spoon in its own stuff sack. Bag of dryer lints to start a fire. Dryer lint, I found out, burns just as quickly, if not better, than cotton. I have my multi-tool for the bicycle. I'm keeping that in the bag, not in the saddle pouch, because it's got sharp edges and I don't want to puncture the tube. Carrying strap for the trunk bag, so when I get on the train, I can dismount the panniers and carry it over my shoulder. And of course, a Sawyer squeeze system, a squeeze bag, the filter itself, and the bottom of a plastic drinking bottle, just cut up to make a cup to scoop things out. So moving on to the handlebar itself. Got my electronics, got my GPS, a chest mount strap, and everything here goes into the actual handlebar bag. So we have our cook kit, collapsible cup, lid, mug, the main cook container. We got our 100-gram fuel canister, small big lighter, little scrubby, camp suds, and this great little, this is the stove, this DRS stove, that big. I think I paid 20 bucks for that on Amazon. Then we have our windshield, just cut out of a cookie sheet, and just two butterfly clips to hold it together. We got a hard case for the glasses, hand sanitizer, electronics, iPod shuffle. Got a waterproof bag for the iPhone, a whistle for for on the road. More electronics, charging cable, iPhone charging cable. If we stay in a hostel or someplace that has power, I could plug it in. Got backup batteries for the GoPro, backup batteries for the GPS, a 4,000 milliamp hour battery pack with a sun panel, first aid kits, Bluetooth shutter release for an iPhone. This great little device allows you to read micro SD cards directly into your iPhone. When I was on the trail once, I wanted to download videos from my GoPro into the iPhone, trying to use the wireless. It was too slow. Found this device online for like 15 bucks on Amazon. You just put your SD card in the bottom there, plug it into your lightning connector on your iPhone, and you can download your stuff a lot faster. GoPro wrench, GoPro itself, waterproof case, again everything on a lanyard with a snap link, and then this little $10 mounts, again got off Amazon for for doing selfies. Got the flexible legs, you attach it just about anything. That along with the shutter release, I think it was $10 on Amazon. Then we have again the first aid kits, iPod Kindle, my train ticket, and then in this Ziploc is all of my trail maps and trail guide for things that are on the C&O Canal, bandana or a skull cap, a lacquer skull cap, again treated with permethrin, helmet and gloves. Going on to the bicycle itself, under the saddlebag, this is where I have got 2 spare tubes, a pressure gauge, brand new patch kit, and 1 tire lever. I've discovered I don't need 3, 1 is always enough. All that goes here into this waterproof case here. So this is where I keep all these materials here. 2 water bottles. There's plenty of potable water on the trail. At each campsite there is a hand pump. And one thing I did shake out on my last overnight was the bicycle pump that I had. It's one of those attaches directly to the tire stem, to the stem valve on the tube, and that puts a lot of torque on that. So there's a danger of breaking that. So I found this online, or I found this in REI for $50. Can't remember the name. Lazine or something like that. It's a hand pump with a all metal with a screw-on type chuck, not a. I never liked the squeeze chucks because I never thought you got a good seal. This actually screws onto your Presta valve, and it's got a metal footrest, so you can actually with a hose and you can pump it up. So when you want to get the high pressure into your tires, I think that's a lot better than a hand pump that attaches directly to a valve stem. Onto the handlebars, we have the poles all ready for the tent because the poles wouldn't fit in the pannier, so they fit perfectly on the handlebar. Got my GoPro mounts already configured there. 850 lumen headlamp, mounting point for the GPS, bicycle computer which is wireless, and finally, after 20 years of holding this bicycle, I finally put a kickstand on it. 20 bucks off of Amazon. Who'd have thunk it? So let's pack all this stuff up. Now, one thing I forgot to include because it was upstairs and not in the basement was my toiletry bag. This consists of a roll of toilet paper, some bug spray, toothbrush, dental floss, travel size tube of toothpaste. This one's almost empty, so I'll get a new one of that. Fingernail clipper and some anti-inflammatories because, you know, I do have OLD knees. All that goes inside a gallon-locked Ziploc bag, which then goes inside a 6-liter stuff bag. This is an expandable stuff bag. It's not waterproof, so that's why we got the Ziploc bag. And another thing this doubles as is at night, when it's time to go to bed, I can stuff my camp clothes inside this bag here, cinch it up, and I've got myself a pillow. Not bad, and then all that also goes on top of the handlebar bag that you saw being packed up in the time lapse. And I'll pack that up right now, and I'll show you how that looks all closed up here. I'm going to need 2 hands, so I'm going to pause the video here. So there's everything in the Ziploc. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. It goes into the stuff sack. Very nice. It goes on top like that. And I'll close it up. So that will close up. I just need 2 hands to do it. And there you have it. That's everything in the handlebar bag. So finally, the food. What are we going to eat for 5 days? Well, I've got 5 days of food here. I may be done in 4 days, but it never hurts to have, you know, extra supplies. So basically, I packed for 5 days, and I'm using 2 food bags because the size of my trunk bag is not that large. In fact, it's at a slope, so I need to divide my food into 2 bags. A smaller one to be, you know, put at to the back of the trunk bag, and a larger goes in, you know, will go toward the back. So we've got a larger. So we've got a 6-liter stuff sack and a I think this is a 20 liter. That's outdoor research. I believe it's where there is a no. It's a 16 liter. Yep, it's a 16 liter. Not from Osprey. Because I don't think Osprey made a 16 or a 20 liter. So I got it from Outdoor Research. So for starting off the top, we've got Crystal Lights. Need that for to flavor the water, and gotta have coffee in the morning. After all, we're not barbarians, so we got ourselves Starbucks Instant. Having looked at through hiker videos and reviews,
Everyone considers this to be the best instant coffee on the trail. For snacks, we've got strawberry licorice bites. Need that sugar. For protein snacks, we have beef jerky, and all that goes inside the 6-liter stuff sack. For breakfast, Quaker Instant Oatmeal, 2 packs a day. Couple that with Nature Valley granola bars. For also snacking during the day, we have Cliff Bars. The nice thing about Cliff Bars, you can pick these up for $1 or $1.50. High caloric value, 260 calories approximately per bar, depending upon the flavor. For lunch, nothing beats a Ritz cracker, along with Jif peanut butter and tortillas. Nice thing about this is there's 8 tortillas, so 2 a day in a nice Ziploc bag. You bought those at the store. So spread some peanut butter on the tortilla. Got yourself a lunch. For dinner, the North Sides. These are all instant 2-serving rice size. Various different flavors. Also Idahoan instant potatoes. Again, looking at Thru Hiker videos, Idahoan got the best reviews. And to add some protein to that, single serve, tuna and salmon and whatnot. So mix that all up at the end of the day, and that'll be that's the hot meal. So have a hot breakfast, cold lunch, and a hot dinner. All that goes inside those 2 stuff sacks, which go back in the trunk bag, which I demonstrated just a little bit earlier. So there's the food for the next 5 days. See you on the trail.